Game started in a way that we typically start, where we're on the side where we start fast, and Dunbar jumped out on us, and I think after those second, third touchdown, I think we played a heck of a game, and I'm real proud of our seniors. I'm real proud of our community for the support they provided to us. It's been a great season.
Just talk about basically that senior leadership you guys showed all year long, not just in this game. You guys were able to buckle down and keep them off the scoreboard for the most part in the second half. You kind of fought back a little bit. Just talk about your senior class and kind of the impact that they've had on the team just going forward and sort of their lasting legacy, because they've had a lot of success here at South Carroll.
Well, I think any coach is going to talk well about their senior class, the leadership that they provide both on and off the field, and I'll carry into that tune. We have tremendous leaders as their seniors. They work hard on the field. They work hard off the field. They're great role models and examples for the younger guys to learn how to improve their craft and their trade. They were that way when I saw them as freshmen and sophomores, and I knew that they were going to be an opportunity for us to be where we are here today.
Just talk about kind of the speed of Dunbar. You guys seem to have a little bit of trouble holding off their pass rush.
Well, they're tremendous athletes, and we knew that going in. Our game plan was to try to counteract that by trying to keep them funneled into the inside. Even when we did that, they were able to escape through some tackles, and it's hard to hold down that kind of level. You can't coach against speed. It's tough.
And following up on that, I know you guys saw film, had a lot of film on Dunbar, but it's almost like the old Mike Tyson saying, everyone has a plan until they get hit. And it looked like you guys, once you got hit a little bit with the actual Dunbar speed, but I thought you guys adjusted very well.
Well, we did, and that's a testament to my coaching staff. They did some tremendous things in making some adjustments. We moved some people around, but our guys have grit, they have heart, and they weren't about to give up, even though they got down quick. You saw that was a different team between the second quarter and the last half. So I'm real proud of them. They're just a great bunch of young men.
You guys talk about a great season. I know everyone wants to leave with a state championship, but only 12 teams get to this final weekend. You were one of those 12 teams.
Yeah, we created a bond with each other for like 2 years now. And that carried us a lot of ways. It got us here pretty much. We played for each other this game. Didn't turn out the way we wanted, but we had each other's backs, and pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even get to play last year, so it's the first time I've ever playing varsity ball with this group of kids, and I don't regret it one bit. It took a lot of convincing to get me to come back out here, but I'm glad I did. It was really worth it. I had a lot of fun playing with these boys.
Coach, and follow up on that. Just talk about the sacrifices these young men have made over the last year.
Well, the world that we're in is making sacrifices. The reality is that we're all trying to adjust to what's presented to us. The spring season that we were able to put together, the practices, the way the practices had to be ran, it was very challenging. And that's again a class step to our leadership of our seniors. They were great in that. So to get to this point, as you said, only 12 teams. Not everybody can go home with the prize, but we're and we said beforehand, we're not just happy to be here. We came to win. So we're a little bit dejected right now, but when it's all said and done, I'm sure we're going to be very proud of what we did for our county.
All right, Jim. I know you're just finishing up your season. Give us kind of a sneak peek of 2022.
Well, this is the first game that our juniors have lost since 2019. So, we feel like we still have a pretty bright future ahead of us. We're going to have to, deal with the teams that we beat this year. They're all younger as well. So, but we have a good outlook. We have a good nucleus. We have good leadership in that junior class, so we think we're going to do just fine.
Coach Krause, how about the fans you guys had behind you today? We've had that all year, but it was a really big lift to see all those guys on the sideline in black and gold for you guys.
That was amazing, Pat. Our county and the support that we've had in South Carroll over the past couple of weeks has just been tremendous. We knew coming in that we were going to have a big crowd, but I never expected that. When the guys came out of the locker room in the beginning of the game, it was just an uplifting situation that we had in front of us. So I'm tremendously thankful and grateful. We're humble and hungry. The fact that they supported us all through thick and thin, and we're glad that they were here to support us today.
And talk about making history. I think this is the 4th time a Carroll County team has made it to the state finals. I think you guys were here in 05.
Yeah, we were here in 05. Yep.
Westminster been here a couple
Correct.
of times.
You know, I can be happy to say that I was here in 05 as well. This one doesn't feel any better. That one didn't end the same way either that we wanted. But, you know, it's a tremendous pride when you can get your young men to, you know, to follow you and to believe in what you preach and what you gospel to them. So we're real pleased that, you know, yeah, we're the only 4th team, but there's going to be some coming down the pipeline for sure, I guarantee you.
And talk about that, about Carroll County football. This is a bright future.
Well, you know, the coach Dunbar said, you know, there was a question mark about whether or not, you know, teams from up this way could play. You know, I think we proved that we can, and we can play along with those teams. Carroll County football is good football. It's good competitive football, and you know, I'll match them up against anywhere we go. We played Frederick, Howard, Washington, Baltimore, and Baltimore City this year, so I think we did pretty well.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Doc. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Come on, guys.
Great season, great turnaround for y'all.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much for the support.
These are our 2 county football players.
Yes, player of the year.
Like a week or 2 on. Still rolling. Yeah. 616 732.
What do you want to do? You want to do, you're saying Dunbar too? Yeah, why not? We're here.
Right here. Get my man Sam. Can you hear me?
I gotta get this one. I gotta get my.
If they want to cut it, that's fine.
If you want to cut it, that's fine.
They are a kid like crap.
Yes, yes.
We're doing it.
On the other side, watching Coach at the podium. Coach, you got the podium. Gentlemen, well, Lawrence, much different feeling from 2019?
Oh yeah, much different feeling. You know what? It was hard leaving here in 19. These guys, we watched that film all week this week. A lot of the guys watched it that wasn't on the team, and the guys said that they just didn't want that feeling anymore, so they did what they had to do once they got here.
Talk about the fast start. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns.
Oh, we wanted to start fast. We felt that if we started fast, we wanted to, you know, we didn't want them to slow the game down. And we always wanted to play fast. We played fast all year. And that's one thing that we wanted to do. Weather was great, so we just came out, pedal to the metal, let's go.
Talk about your guys' ability to get the run game going. Basically, first play from the team, Tristan had a really nice long run. Just talk about the blocking of your offensive line, how you were able to get Kansas a great big place in the running game.
Yeah, they did it all year. I mean, with Tristan, Devin, 2-headed monster, doing what they got to do. They did it all year. The offensive line has done a great job. Second half, they tried to do some things. We, send out extra people. We wasn't sealing the blocks a little bit in the second half, but, we did a great job doing everything we need to do.
And just talk about Dunbar being at the top of the class 2A-1A again. Just kind of you guys, back in front. It's I think your 11th state championship. To talk about getting back to that level and the pride to sort of feel in the program.
They wanted to be focused. These guys, one thing about Dunbar, when you have so many alum that have won state championships coming back, everybody wants to compare what's the best Dunbar team. And these guys, I told them all along. I said, with all the records, all the touchdowns, all the shutouts, and everything that we've done all year, if you want to ever be in that conversation, you would have to win a state championship. No one is even going to entertain you as one of the best Dunbar teams if you don't win a state championship. And that's all that they needed, and they were focused on. They wanted to just be known as one of the best Dunbar teams ever.
For you, Coach, and I'm going to ask the players some questions. everything that we all been through last year with the pandemic and with what you guys sacrificed the last year, what does this championship mean to you?
It means a lot, especially for these guys. I mean, these guys, they were blood, sweat, and tears in the hall through the pandemic. I mean, you know, they were calling each other, let's meet at the gym, let's work out, let's do these things. They wanted this hit the ground running. That's why I knew it was, you know, once we got here, I knew it was going to happen. So it meant a lot for us to be back on top, especially being so many juniors, only having 13 seniors out of this whole team. And with all these guys that right here, you know, besides Dante, these guys come back. I mean, you know, the core of the team comes back, a couple linemen we got to shape up. So, you know, they wanted to come back so they can be able to do, they got to do the same one that most of them, that they can try to win back-to-back championships.
Coach, talk about some of the challenges for you and your staff in terms of getting to this championship, coming through all this unprecedented times with this pandemic and school being virtual and being everything that's involved. How were you able to do it? What was so different?
It was very difficult. I mean, trying to find some kids was working, things like that. But when you had the core of the team, and like I told them, this was no mistake. This was no mistake. When you had the core of the team who wanted this day and started spreading it to other players, they did everything they needed to do to make it work. And that was what it was about. So it was easy at one time for the coaches once the kids brought in. I mean, these guys, they were going to Planet Fitness and doing things like that outside. I mean, they was putting in their group chat, you know, we're at Planet Fitness if anybody wants to meet us. So that's what made this part easy, because they put in that work in the offseason when a lot of teams different.
Well, let's talk about South Carroll. You guys got up on them, but I thought really through the last 2.5 quarters, they gave you guys some problems.
Yeah, they started sending extra people and things like that, but we also started running some things that we usually don't run. I mean, the state championship game, we felt the game was over. So Coach Sean, you know, he wanted to start doing some different things, trying to get some new look, get some other folks in. But the number one thing is that they played a great game. We knew what they had. You know, we knew that they were more of a spread offense team. So we felt that we could basically match up with them and do everything that we need to do matching up with them and let our defensive line wreak havoc. And that's all we wanted to do.
Yeah, Coach Smith and the players, I know the game against Virgo and the tragedy that happened adjustment. From your perspective, how did that make y'all be a solid team? Looking on that side, seeing what happened. The adversity y'all had in that game, cramps, y'all came back in 14, came back and won that game in overtime. How did that propel y'all to this moment?
I mean, I can start out to tell you, that set the season up. I mean, when we started the whole season, we said that we had goals. Number one goal was to win a city championship, win a regional championship, win a state championship. And, you know, that we needed that game to set up. It was, you know, we always the game that everyone looks for in the city. You know, and the guys, they really fought through all the adversity of that game to pull it out. And they just let the ball keep rolling from there. And once we won that game, I knew what type of team that we had, that regardless of any adversity that set in, I knew that these guys would push through and they needed to win any football game.
Guys, you want to just mention about that game in person? Get y'all back.
There was a lot of adversity going throughout that game. I was starting quarterback and went down throughout the week. So we had to fight through the whole game and the whole week of practice. So I was at quarterback there, quarterback that game. So we got us one.
Like picking up on what Dante said, our quarterback went down with a stomach injury. So the adversity just was just stepping up and being that guy. I just had to step into do it for my team. We ended up coming out the win. And that game actually played a big part in us winning today, because that brought us very close and knowing that we can trust our next man, our brother beside us.
Talk about just like taking off to that fast start. You know, I think it was almost a copy of last week. I think you guys scored your first 3 possessions too. Today you did the same thing.
Yeah, so that's how we practice and we come out and play like that. We condition every day. We run a very fast, like style offense, and yeah, just all better putting in the work, trusting our very next to us. Our O-line, shout out to the O-line.
Talk a little about Tristan, how he's become a very key part of this offense.
Tristan, he been a key part of the offense, you know. He was always that 1-2 punch. If I go down, he up. If he's down, I'm picking up the slack. So we got a lot in store for the future.
Just talk about this experience this year.
The experience this year, we brought the closer to the team as a whole. We have a brotherhood. I miss these guys. I'm glad we got him to leave basketball.
Coach, is this one of your fastest teams?
It definitely is one of my fastest teams. I mean, I tell folk all the time, I always get into an argument with my former players when I say certain things, and naturally things like that, but I can tell you that this is definitely one of my, fastest, high-octane type teams. I mean, I watched the games down here all week, starting Thursday, and I saw so many folk had trouble with, with the play clock and things like that, but we get the plays in so fast that I knew that we wouldn't. So this is definitely one of the fastest teams that we had, and I mean, we said coming into the season, in our shirts in summer practice, we said that we wanted to be the greatest show on turf, and we adapted that slogan. And everywhere we go, we always tell folks that we're the greatest show on turf because we want to show folk that we can put up numbers at any time.
Well, Coach, when you talk to your older teams, the older you get, the better you were.
Exactly, and that's the thing. So everybody now, everybody wants to compare Devin to Tavon, and compare Dante to Sean Farr and guys like that. And like I said, the thing is, they don't, I've been doing this now 21 years. It does, I was telling Andy on the field, I was like, I'm the wily veteran of the state coaches teams now. So, I've been doing this for a while now, and you start getting a lot of good teams, a lot of great teams, and the thing is, like I said, it never gets old. At the end of the day, you want these guys to experience this and do what they got to do, go on to the next level, and then the next crop come in. It just so happened that, we have a lot of juniors, so we expect to still be doing what we got to do in the off season, and guys do what they got to do to be able to get here again.
Tristan, so that first play from the scrimmage, do you feel like the guys were maybe tight before that first offensive play? Because you reeled off like a 47-yard run for the first play. Do you feel like that sort of set the tempo for the game that kind of got you guys through?
It definitely set the tempo. It showed that we can run this team, we can do our stuff, just as any other game.
And just talk about being that little threat back there in the backfield, being able to do things with your arms and your legs. You accounted for 3 scores, 2 on the ground. Just talk about your ability to make plays, especially when the play broke down in I think it was the third quarter where you were running around and threw that 47-yard touchdown pass. Just talk about your ability to scramble and make a play.
Well, as you know, I'm not really a quarterback, but throughout my youth years, I pretty much played. My coach, Mike, he set me up to be able to play anything, throw me in any position, and I could stand 10 toes. So that's all it was, just developing me from being a young age and, just being the athlete that I am. My team was trusting me for it, so that gave me a lot of fuel to, I got the team's trust, and I feel as though I could do anything.
Before each one of you guys, what does it mean, not only win the state championship, but to go undefeated?
It means a lot to me because we had, coming from a pandemic, it was rocky getting everybody locked in, so it was, we had to, talk into a lot of our lineman heads and stuff, just getting everybody back on track. So to see everybody to come together as one and get what we were working for all season is sigh of relief.
What's you choose?
It means a lot on the team. Not only did we win the state championship, we won undefeated, so we didn't taste defeat all year. It just feels good to say we have a loss. This season, we went through a lot because we had little to no chemistry coming into the season. But we worked hard at summer workouts and it led up throughout the season that we felt good.
Coach, now going undefeated, win the state championship, but also 2 championships for Baltimore City. I think last time it happened was you guys in 06.
Yeah, it means a lot. I always tell folk, again, especially when you're talking about many teams that was down here from, we say on this side of 495. When we're talking about football in the state of Maryland, people feel traditionally, is dominated by, the Washington side. When you're talking about Prince George's, Montgomery County, Charles County, those type. So I told my guys all week, not to take nothing away from South Carroll, when you looked at the road that we traveled when we beat 2 PG County teams, and then we beat a Charles County team. I said, that's going to open up some eyes for the state championship. My guys were like, what did that mean? I said, because it's unprecedented to beat 2 PG County teams the way we did and then beat a Charles County team the way we did. I said, so I can let you know that we didn't open up some eyes coming into the state championship, and I was letting them know what that means for their site. And they asked, like you said, the other part of that, when you're talking about Merville, I was so happy for those guys because if anyone deserves a state championship, if everything that they've done over the past 10 years with Coach Nixon have done in that program, they've really deserved that state championship the other night. I was just so happy for them. And like you said, in Baltimore City as a whole, we're just trying to turn the narrative about being not just a basketball dominated district, but we're just trying to be a football dominated district to show that we play football in Baltimore City just as good as anyone in the state of Maryland.
Well, thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
You guys got a picture.
Boys back about the top of the SSA 2A-1A championship.
Congratulations, Coach. Thank you.
And what's up, Craig?
The mayor got a parade, mayor Christmas parade, so we're
We'll take it down. Congratulations, Jared.
Hey there, I'm Pat Stetzer.
And I'm Michael Duffy, inviting you to join us for The Score and more.
It's our new podcast, and each week we'll talk about high school sports in Carroll County. We'll share information about upcoming games, highlight coaches and athletes, and much more.
We'll even try to have a little fun along the way. Don't miss The Score and More podcast, presented by CM Sportsnet.
The Score and More Sports podcast is available online at carrollmediacenter.org and on a variety of podcast channels.
That's picked off by touchdown.
Hi, I'm Mike Preston of the Community Media Center. We're going to give you front row seats of highlights of Carroll County football, and we're going to take you behind the scenes. We're going to give you a front row seat. We're going to take you places that no one else can take you.
But we need your help. We're looking for volunteers to help us cover the game. If you have a passion for the sport and are willing to learn, we want to hear from you.
You can bring high school football to every screen in Carroll County. Some of the best plays in football happen right here, and you can be a part of it.
Contact us today and find out how you can help us capture some of the best plays in the game.
Are you ready to join the team?
What does it take to cover local high school sports? It takes staff and volunteers, equipment, training, and community support from people like you. You can help by making a donation to the Community Media Center today. Your gift is an investment in our community, our schools, and most of all, our student athletes. We want to expand our coverage to include both boys and girls sports, but we can't do it without your help. So please, make your donation today and help us bring high school sports to every screen in Carroll County.
It wasn't until after I found out that he was using heroin intravenously that I realized why these shoelaces were missing.
You know, it was to the point where, like, I either honestly wanted to go to jail or die.
With the increase of the fentanyl and the car fentanyl that's coming into the county, we are responding to more overdoses.
Addiction is a progressive disease, but how we respond to someone in crisis can sometimes mean the difference between life and death. Hi, I'm Tim Weber. Join me for Real Talk, a frank discussion with real people who have lived through a crisis, parents who have experienced a devastating loss, and first responders and counselors who are on the front line, helping to save lives. Hear the rest of their stories on Real Talk.